everybody, it's Selena. Thanks for joining me today. So, on the menu for our dinner today is going to be shrimp street tacos. Try to say that multiple times fast. First ingredient is our deveined, we already cleaned it, jumbo shrimp. Of course, this is the most important. Old El Paso flour tortillas, salsa. Now, letting you know, some people decide they want to use pico de gallo. Some people like to use mango salsa. We're using regular fresh salsa from our local grocer. And it's not going to be hot this time, but some people like that little spice. So again, whatever floats your boat. We have our two oils here. So we have our Wesson canola oil, Heart Healthy Living. Then we also have our EVOO. You see here, have cilantro, a lime, an avocado. I am a big fan of shopping at our local farmer's market. You can't beat the fresh produce and just some of the wonderful things that you can find at farmers market. So go Jersey farmers. And then here you see I actually make my own seasoning blends. And as I highlighted here about Heart Healthy, all of my seasoning blends are salt free. So for today's street tacos, we're actually going to use From Shore to Land seafood seasoning. And then to kick up that little tang a little bit, we're going to be using the tang and citrus seasoning for our street tacos. Let's get into it. So now we're going to season our shrimp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the tang and citrus dry blend. Now, even though this is a dry rub, believe me, you can use it on anything. You don't have to just use it as your seasoning to, before you grill. Again, I use my seasonings for everything. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. Now, you see here, I like to just make sure I coat everything. The smell is amazing. All right, now we're going to add the seafood seasoning. So what I love about the seafood seasoning, it adds that bit of spice that we talked about earlier. That's why I felt like, you didn't need to have spicy salsa, because you're going to add a little something when you use the From Shore to Land seasoning. And again, no salt. So the good part about it is you can be as liberal as you want when you're adding this on. I'm telling you, if you're not used to using just some mixed spices without salt, it is just retraining your palate to just love natural flavors. So now we're going to stir this up, and sometimes I go back and add some more. If I said, I want a little bit more, a little something. So then sometimes I'll add just a little extra seasoning. Maybe I'll give like 3 more shakes of our tang and citrus. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can smell it, so I know what it's gonna smell like when it hits the pan. All right, so here's our mixed product. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is fry it up in a pan. So let me pull the pan out, and we're gonna use our EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, to sear our shrimp. Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, so I am going to pour in my EVOO, brand new bottle, so let's pop this open. All right, we'll toss this in a minute. We'll put this right here. So, you see how I just kind of drizzle it around? There we go. Because, with EVOO, you have to be careful. It's not meant for frying, right? So we're not going to use this ever for chicken. So it burns fast, so we're going to make sure we stay with our pot. As we cook our shrimp, you see how I like to coat my pan? I just move it around. Okay, so I'm going to put my heat here. It's kind of a medium high. So I am going to preheat this oil so that once I put my shrimp in, it pretty much starts to sear as soon as I drop it in. Because as you see, I'm not using flour or any, type of starchy base. I'm just putting my seasoned shrimp right into the EVOO. So I'm just kind of I feel the heat come in, which is great. So as we wait for that to heat up, just some things to think about. So street tacos are such a quick, easy Friday, Saturday night. I just want to make something quick for myself or my family. You can use chicken. Some people use the shaved beef because, again, those are things that cook quick and they all taste just amazing because we know it's about the seasoning. We know it's about your fresh herbs like your cilantro, the salsa, that lime. Some people, don't like the lime, but I like lime. And it's just, again, a great, convenient, fast food for, when you just want to cook a little something and not always eat out. Because I'll be honest with you. And my daughter, who's my camera person, can tell you. Growing up, I mean, we stayed eating out. It wasn't like at McDonald's or anything all the time, but we loved and still do love to eat out. But again, we're just a little more mindful, right? We're more mindful of what we eat and where we go. So there's a lot of great restaurants out there, y'all. But again, you don't want to eat out all the time. That's just a waste of money, and you rob your family and yourself of making some nutritious, good tasting meals at home. All right, let's get this shrimp in here. Make sure we're not splashing. Y'all, I'm telling you, the smell is amazing. Amazing. All right, I'm going to put this to the side because we don't need this anymore, this bowl. I'm going to switch over to my tongs. Again, we just don't want cross-contamination, so once we're done with the raw food and such, let's just, switch to something a little different. Telling you, it's just amazing, the smell. Now, what I like to do, I know some people like to just leave it cooking in there as it goes, but I like to flip mine. And I kind of go back and forth and flip. And for me, that is how I know that it's more evenly cooked versus some people again, they just leave it on one side and make sure everything's cooked and hard on, one side, and then next thing you know, you have dry shrimp because you overcooked one side. So, keep flipping. That's how how I've learned that you have consistency, right? So that your shrimp are good and y'all. All right, so just about done. It's been cooking around 5-6 minutes. Now I'm just going to add a little dried parsley. Again, nothing like good old spice and some herbs. Okay, so now we're done. Let's turn off this heat. Let's put our shrimp in the bowl so that we can save it for our next round. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Beautiful pink color. What we're gonna do is add some of this seasoned olive oil, right, to our shrimp. So one, it keeps our shrimp hot, but it adds that flavor, right? Let's move this over so you can see. All right, so we're gonna pour this in here. Get a little bit of this. Look at that. It's great. Okay, so now we're going to start on the fixings so that once we get done with heating up our tortillas, people can go right to making their plates. All right, so cilantro. What we love about cilantro is you can eat the whole thing. Right, so bunch it together, cut it small. Just so you know, I've actually already rinsed off the cilantro as well as patted it dry. So again, with any fresh herb, vegetable, you do want to make sure you rinse it off before you put it in with the rest of your food. Nice and chopped up. Don't worry, everybody. My countertop is nice and sanitized, so anything that falls, we can put it right back in our dish here. Now, avocado. So we cut through the avocado all the way down to the core, bring it all the way around. Right, so we feel it. It's such a nice consistency, because you want to make sure that your avocado isn't hard when you squeeze it, right? You don't want it to be mushy. It has to be nice and ripe. So you just feel a little give. And that's how you know your avocado is ready. So I did cut through. Now let's see if I'm strong. Yay, look at that. Beautiful. Now, let's try to take this out. Oop. Oopsies. Well, hey, it's all good. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a spoon so we can scoop this out. Okay, excuse my dry hands, everybody. I make sure I wash my hands several times. There we go. Nice. All scooped out. Okay, I'm gonna slice this. So nice and soft. Love it. So I don't like to make the slices too thick, because you gotta think it's gonna be on your taco. So it's already small spaces. So you wanna get just right. And then I also like to then slice it right down the middle so that you can spread it across your taco. You get fancy with it. Okay, see what happens? It's all good. It's all gonna end up in the same place, y'all. Yum, yum. Avocado, cilantro, all good. All right, so now we're gonna slice the lime. I already washed this off, okay? So, the lime is gonna be used for our lime juice when you wanna squeeze it over your taco. Okay, There we go. Now that we're done preparing the fixings for our street tacos, now we're going to fry up our tortillas. So let's start with adding some oil to the pan. Now again, even though I said frying, it's not like, again, we're frying chicken. So what I do is I put the canola oil in the pan and I spread it around. I'm going to use the same medium-high heat to warm my oil. And again, I'm kind of moving it around. Okay, so open this up. Ooh, I was about to open it the wrong way. See? Easy open, so we can reseal it. Okay, so our oil is nice and warm, or hot I should say. You hear that? I think we could fit about 3 in here. Now, today we are frying these, but sometimes people decide they want them a bit softer, so they put them in the oven. So if you're going to put them in the oven, I would say, you know, heat your oven at 350, and more than likely you would keep them in the oven, you know, for roughly, I don't know, about 6-7 minutes, and then you want to flip it for another few minutes. So for ours though, we're going to leave it here for a minute and let it start getting nice and crisp, and then we'll flip them over. This was going for maybe about a minute. So remember, this was already hot when we put them in. I'm struggling with turning it over. There we go. Looks yummy. See a little bubble? I'm going to flatten that out. And I did turn our flame down to a medium heat. Some people have like the, oh goodness, it's like a hot plate that they use, which is similar to how they would make street tacos, like a griddle, and that's a great thing to use as well. All right, done. Pull these out. I'm going to add 3 more. And I'm not adding any more oil, because again, the oil is still really in there. It's coating the pan. The point is, we don't want it to stick. All right, I'm down to my last tortilla. So I added a little bit more oil because the pan was dry. So again, we don't want a dry pan. So once we're done with this, then what I do is I will actually put our shrimp back in the pan just to warm it up. So it's not like we're recooking. We're just using the heat from the tortilla pan to just reheat our shrimp. All right, looks good. Okay, so, and like I said, just gonna add our shrimp back. And turn this down to low. Woo, the sizzle. All right, now we are going to return our shrimp back to the bowl. And again, let's add the oil back in, because our EVOO is seasoned, so we don't want to lose that flavor. All right, so now that everything is prepared, we are going to now build our street taco. All right, so here we are. So we have our flour tortillas here. We have our shrimp that is seasoned with the from Shore to Land seasoning blend, as well as the tang and citrus. We have our fresh cilantro, our lime, avocado, cilantro, and then our cheese, which is a Mexican blend. So let's start building. I am so excited. All right. So one thing we love about tacos is you can do it however you like. You know, put on what you want, as little or much, whatever floats your boat. Some people like to put sour cream on. Again, hey, it's up to you. All right. So I'm pulling out my salsa. You know, I just want to make sure I drain it with the spoon so that we don't get our tortilla all moist. All right, I'm gonna put on my avocado. Yum. Fresh cilantro. Again, still clean. Cheese. And then to top it off, and so for me, I like to add just a little more salsa on the top. So I have it at the bottom and at the top. Look at that. Okay. Let me move this out the way because we're going to give this a little taste. I know I might make a mess. You see it's dripping. Ugh, that's so great. I know it's getting messy, but that's the best kind, y'all. I'm gonna end up eating this whole thing right here. My poor child, she's just watching me, but she's a good sport about it. The lime juice, the cilantro. Remember I told you about that tang from the seasoning? It's just all coming together. Feel free, once you make this at home, comment below. And if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, click a thumbs up, and tell your friends so we can all be friends. All right, y'all. Bon appetit.